makakausap po natin ngayong gabi si former presidential spokesperson Edwin Lacerda. Magandang gabi po sa inyo, Secretary.
Ay, magandang gabi Maricel, Joey, and Chiki. Kamusta kayo?
Good evening, Secretary.
Good evening.
Good evening po. Sir, sisimulan ko na dun sa usapin sa PCO kasi alam mo na, dati ka rin naman na naroroon sa tanggapan na yon, although iba yung tawag nung time po ninyo. Pero, Sec, ngayon kasi, 4 na PCO secretary na yung umuupo.
In 3 years
mukhang magiging 5 pa. Di ba? Ano po ba yung nakikita ninyong problema rito? Bakit nagkakaganon?
Yeah. We've always said that, alam mo yung, if you're familiar with KPIs, yung key metrics talaga ng comms team, is really, there's only one key metrics to evaluate the effectiveness of the communications team, yan yung survey numbers ng Pangulo. Mm-hmm. Kasi kung ang survey numbers ng Pangulo mataas, I think the comms team can take credit for that. Kasi nga, they deliver they do the messaging, they craft the messaging. So lahat ng mga communications strategy, ginagawa yan ng comms team. Mm-hmm. So kung mababa ang numbers ng Pangulo, problema yan. Of course, may problema ang Pangulo, may problema rin primarily ang comms team. Kasi dapat sila ang very sensitive. They do social media monitoring, they do traditional media monitoring. Kaya alam nila dapat kung ano nangyayari sa effectiveness ng Pangulo. Kung ngayon mababa ang effectiveness ni Pangulong Marcos, mababa ang kanyang trust ratings, there's really a problem in the comms team. And that's why, siguro for the last, especially itong nangyari after the ICC, medyo talaga tinamaan ang Pangulo dahil sa, I think largely because the messaging was not very effective in showing the side of the Marcos administration why they had to arrest former President Duterte. No? So yan parang yung naging slide na yung pababa eh. So ngayon, there's really a strong effort na ilapit si Pangulong Marcos sa taong bayan. May mga podcast siya, in-interview siya, lumalabas siya sa kalye. Yung nagpapakita na I'm familiar with your problems, I know your problems, I'm here to solve your problems. Yun naman talaga dapat ang ginagawa ng ating Pangulo. Pero malayo pa dahil ang layo ng kanyang numbers right now. So talagang may issue doon. Kasi ang nangyari kasi, I think lang, is ang bangayan between the Duterte and the Marcos side eh. Kung ako yun, I would have, kung ako yun, sinantabi ko na muna ang Duterte issue kasi malakas yung Duterte brand ngayon eh. Lalo na empathetic ang tao sa kanya. Ang ginagamit ni Vice President Sara Duterte, yung emotion, ang ginagamit ng Marcos administration, yung legal na pag-uusap on the ICC case. So paano ka mananalo, di ba? So ang Filipinos are by nature very emotional, they're very empathetic. So nararamdaman nila yung sakit na nararamdaman ng pamilya ng mga Duterte. Kaya instead of parang, alam mo may sinasabi tayo, diba, may 3-day news cycle. After that, let's change the topic para bring in another topic. Mukhang hindi ganun nangyari. That's why nabaon on the Duterte-Marcos rift. Kaya medyo bumababa ang numbers ni Pangulong Marcos. Buti lang ngayon, si Pangulong lumalabas. Hopefully, in the next quarter, merong gagandang numbers siya. Plus, I'm not sure if a changing of the guards would also be effective. But I think kung ganyan talagang wala pang solusyon nung panahon ng ating current incumbent Comm Secretary, siguro, one way of doing it is just changing it. But I think also yung strategy talaga, they have to redo the entire strategy ng hindi lang pagpapalit ng tao. Maybe the new guy coming in, pwedeng baguhin din yung strategy nila.
Oo. Yeah. Strategy talaga po yung nakikita ninyo, Secretary. Ano? Kasi parang iniisip ko, ito lang yata yung administrasyon na sa loob ng 3 taon, 4 na agad yung naging Comm Secretary. So, what does it say about the decision of the administration? Kasi
leadership style,
leadership
PBBM.
style, bakit 4 agad eh?
Honestly, the question is, I don't know who is really heading the comms. Is it really the communication secretary really crafting it, or are there people behind that's really controlling the levers? And merong ganung klaseng pag-uusap or at least may mga chismis na it's not really J. Ruiz really handling the entire crafting the messaging and crafting the entire strategy. So, do we think that he has the levers of power to do the messaging? Hindi rin natin alam eh. So, but it certainly is very, very unsettling to see 4 or 5 cabinet secretaries in a span of 4 years na parang hindi naman ganun kasama nung nag-umpisa si Pangulong Marcos eh. Di ba? Ang ganda naman ng numbers niya. Except it's really when there's crisis time na mukhang parang, especially yung away na political crisis hindi yung mga national emergency or mga national calamity crisis, madali makakuha ng empathy sa gobyerno if you're really performing and delivering your services eh. But this time, it's really a political crisis where 2 strong political families are at war with each other and they don't seem to know how to get out of that problem eh. Yan yung talagang problema. They're tied up with the Marcos-Duterte rift eh. They have to really disentangle themselves with the conflict with Sara Duterte and proceed with governance. And which I'm seeing right now, na talagang nakikita mo naman si Pangulong Marcos lumalabas, may ibang mga topic na pinag-usapan. You know, I recently met with someone and I think yung media ngayon talagang may conscious effort ng mga cabinet secretaries to really show to the people ano ang ginagawa nila. Kanina lang si Secretary Laurel at least may nahuling mga smuggling, yung mga ganung klaseng bagay na dapat pinapakita na we're doing a lot for our fellow countrymen. And you're in a battlefield that you don't control. Yun ang natin. If you don't control the narrative, talo ka. If you don't control the battlefield, you have to pivot. Mukhang ngayon lang nagpipivot ang administration sa comms nila. And sana, tuloy-tuloy na nila mag-pivot sila ng mas maayos. I think, mahaba pa naman ang panahon. Ang problema lang, kung talagang natuloy impeachment, balik tayo ulit sa Duterte issue.
Yes.
So, we have to massage or craft their message very, very well.
Oo. So, sabing mo nga po, sir, yung naratibo, pag-control ng naratibo, tapos yung usapin ng political crisis. Pero ano po ang tingin ninyo na finally, after ilang years, nagkaroon ng spokesperson ang comms team, ang Office of the President, is it a good development?
Yes, because, when the spokesperson...
Ay, nawala si Secretary. Sir? Ayusin natin. Naputol si Secretary Lacerda. Balikan natin.
May tanong pa ako sa witch hunt eh. Sige,
ayusin niyo. Kasi meron pa tayong issue sa witch hunt. At saka yung leadership ng Senate. Diba? Kasi nandyan nga yung... Ayan na, ready na ulit.
Go, Mase.
Secretary Lacerda, can you hear us? Okay, ayusin pa muna. Sayang biglang
So while we're waiting, sabihin ko lang, parang nagigets ko si Secretary Lacerda eh.
Yes.
Sa comms, parang meron kasi talagang dapat strategy tungkol doon eh.
Totoo yan.
Pero ngayon kasi parang masyadong busy sa pagmamanage ng members ng MPC. Bakit yun? Diba? O bakit
Malacanang press corps po, MPC po.
Or kung ano yung mga nilalabas na balita, 'di ba? Parang dapat sa kanila nag-emanate kung ano yung angling na gusto nila.
Actually maganda yung ipinupunto ni Secretary Lacerda na yung naratibo na lumalabas sa tao. Yes, clearly there's a political crisis dahil meron talagang parang nangyayari Marcos versus Duterte. Simula nung mabuwag yung unity team, hindi na nawala yun eh. Pero ang pinopoint out kanina na Secretary Lacerda, yung naratibo na gustong iparating sa tao, yung programa ng gobyerno. So, it's sabi ni Sec kanina, binabalikan lang po natin mga kapatid, na mas maganda yung nakikita. Ayan na uli si Secretary Lacerda. Sec, good evening ulit. Can you hear us?
Naputol
Nawala po kasi kanina. Secretary? Wala pa rin kami naririnig.
Naputol ba ulit?
Nasaan na si Sec? Yan.
Oo. Sorry, ano yung sinasabi mo?
Ayun. Secretary?
Okay.
May narinig na kaming konti.
Nakamute lang si...
Ayun. Naririnig na natin. Secretary Lacerda, kanina po may sinasabi kayo na it's a good development na finally nagkaroon ng spokesperson. You were saying po?
Yes, because ang spokesperson ang nagko-communicate daily, informing the public through the media kung ano nangyayari sa gobyerno, kung anong ginagawa ng ating Pangulo. So hindi pwedeng walang interaction dapat ang gobyerno sa media. Mahalagang papel ang ginagawa ng media. Ang ginawa ni Pangulong Marcos in the earlier, sabi niya, I will be my own spokesman. Maganda, hindi maganda yan dahil wala ka namang araw-araw na interaction sa Pangulo eh. At saka kung the few times ang gagawin, Maricel, you were with the presidential MPC dati, mga ano lang yun eh, yung mga may event, may
Kapit.
Siguro tawagan na natin si Secretary Lacerda para mas maayos yung signal natin kasi sayang ang ganda nung pinapaliwanag ni Secretary Lacerda kasi of course dati siyang bahagi ng comms team ni former President Noynoy Aquino. So he understands, 'di ba, kung paano yung nangyayari na communication mula sa Malacanang papunta sa taong bayan. Kung paano. Pero ako wala naman akong diyan kasi sobrang honestly, ang hirap ng trabaho ng Presidential Communications Office. Napakahirap.
Yeah,
hindi ba? So talagang kapag pinasok mo yan, dapat ready ka doon sa hirap.
Messaging kasi yun ng gobyerno mo
Messaging yun.
ng admin mo.
Expect mo na yung messaging mo, hindi siya ganun ka-smooth maipaparating sa mga tao kasi nandiyan yung kaliwat kanan na diba, na mga challenges, criticisms. Ayan.
Okay.
Secretary?
Hi, Sec.
Tawagan na lang natin sa phone si Secretary Lacerda para ipapasa ko na kina Juvie at saka kay Chiki kasi baka maubusan tayo ng oras. Magtatanong pa sila tungkol doon
yung mga
sa
sagot ni
Senate leadership.
Yan.
Yon.
Hello?
Ay!
Sorry.
Opo.
Di pa tayo, sabi nga ni Secretary Lacerda kanina, mag-move on agad kapag so, move on tayo dun sa nagtataka naman ako dito kay Senator Zubiri.
Yun.
Para sabihin niyang naaawa sa kay Senator Risa dahil may iwan mag-isa doon. Para namang hindi sanay si Senator Risa lumaban sa sarili niya kapag may mga gusto siyang gawin sa Senado. Pero ano yung tingin nyo rito, aside from yung allegations sa ngayon na yung mga dapat ay makakasama niya ay sa mayorya daw sasama?
Alam mo Jovi, there's a strategic importance why some of them would like to join the majority.
Yes.
Ba't kasi hindi phone na?
Sige, pang ilang putol na, sayang
Sayang. Nandun ako sa
phoner na lang tayo.
Hindi na pa tayo sasabi
Dinidiscuss
phoner.
na natin yung yung
papunta na siya doon sa naririnig ko sa sources na it's strategic. Hindi man magsasama-sama sa minorya. There's wisdom in joining the majority.
kailangan nating malaman kung ano yung wisdom na
Ano
yon.
yung wisdom na yun? Although naririnig talaga namin yan na kasi kung parang nakita na natin yun, lahat magkakasama sa minority tapos hindi na nanalo kahit anong mangyari. Sabihin, gusto ipasa itong batas na ito pero hindi nga maipasa-pasa.
So baka
Diba?
strategy nga
Baka
yun,
strategy.
na maybe they can get more support kung yung iba sa kanila
Yes,
kasama
hindi
sa...
ito novel idea kasi nangyayari ito maski doon sa lower house.
Ayan.
Okay, binababa yung call.
Sorry, Joey.
Yes. Go ahead.
Yung importante, like yung kunyari kapag majority party, you're part of the majority coalition, meron kang key committee positions eh. So anong hinahabol? Siguro, pwedeng, ang advocacy ni BAM is youth, education, si Kiko naman, food security. They would like to certainly advance those causes. Advocacies nila yon, so they join the majority party. Ang problema lang, it should not be a rubber stamp joining the majority party porque lahat ng ginawa ng majority ni Pangulo, rubber stamp oo sila. I think it has to be something na para hindi naman masira ang kanilang branding na liberal democratic sila, reformist minded sila. They should also be a constructive majority na kung may nakikita sa pagkukulang, they should not hesitate to also call to account the government. Yun lang yun.
Yeah, Secretary Lacerda, sabihin, sa kanilang tatlo, parang posible naman na magkaroon ng personalan dahil sa mga sa strategic move na yan, di ba?
It's really, strategic siya talaga. Talagang kung at politiko ka, you will understand why this is needed. Hindi naman, wala namang, there are no principles that they're going to violate. Politics is always addition.
Yeah.
If you're able to advance your causes, and for as long as you remain true to your principles that both the three of them should have in common, I don't see a problem with that.
Oo. Sec, bilang bahagi po kayo ng LP, kung hindi po ako nagkakamali, membro po kayo, no? Paano nyo po nakikitang dapat pa ring maging matatag ang oposisyon? Well, sa ngayon, si Senator Risa Ontiveros na nag-iisa daw. Kasi parang sinusubukan palabasin na parang parang walang saysay? O hindi naman siguro walang saysay, pero yun nga, kawawa.
Number one, Chiki, I'm not a member of the Liberal Party. Nung nasa gobyerno ako, we wanted to join. Pero sabi ni Secretary Butchabad, huwag kang sumali kasi spokesperson ka. You should be non-partisan. At least allied with the president. But in any, I don't, the role of Risa is very, very crucial in that she remains true to fiscalizing the government. Yan talaga ang main. Remember, during the time of Senator Ninoy Aquino, if I'm not mistaken, siya lang yung lone opposition ng panahon nila. And yet he was very, very effective because he was fiscalizing government. He was calling to account all the anomalies in the first Marcos administration. So, yun talaga ang ginagawa ni Risa. And by the way, si Risa, ang mga causes niya not necessarily anti-government. Look, he's done a lot mga fighting for the causes of the people. Ang dami niya mga pinaglalaban na hindi naman directly against government. Siguro yung mga against government lang directly would be the issue on the national budget which turned out to be an electoral budget. Di ba? Yung parang mga ganun na kailangan naman kasi babantay mo naman yung kaban ng bayan. Sa'yo nanggagaling ang budget. You have to review at himayin ang budget. So, yan ang malaking ginagampan ng trabaho ni Senator Risa Ontiveros. And I think because of that, lumalakas ang credibility niya. And the fact that she's a woman, she's able to deliver it in a different way than men, in a very, very committed, deliberate, but in a non-confrontational way. Si Risa. And by the way, Risa, don't forget, malalim din sa communications yan. So she's also an expert in communications. She knows how it is to deliver the messaging also.
Kung sakali pong si Kiko Bam po, no, ay mapunta nga po sa majority, no, and let's say it's final, hindi naman po masasakripisyo yung mga prinsipyo po ng LP po?
Hindi naman because look, by and large naman our government, unlike during the time of the Duterte administration, we were still, especially Marcos, credit to President Marcos, we are abiding by the liberal democratic values that most of us are familiar with. So hindi naman diktador si Pangulong Marcos. Hindi ginagalang niya ang freedom of the press. Ginagalang niya ang democratic institutions. So by and large, ngayon, we live in a better time. The democratic space is wider now than during the time of the Duterte administration. And which is why we're able to criticize the Marcos government. We're able to say so many things and also I think media should know really well how it was to report under the Duterte administration and during this time or during the Noynoy Aquino administration. So I don't see any reason where even if they join the majority, but the caveat is for as long as they are not rubber stamping the majority and they remain true to their roles as a part of the constructive majority, then that should be fine.
Secretary Lacerda, pwede ba mag-part 2 tayo tungkol sa ICC at saka sa impeachment? Sayang, kulang na po yung oras. Pero interesting sana yung talk tungkol doon. Pero we hope to speak to you again very soon, Attorney Lacerda.
Apologize for my bad connection.
Okay.
Thank you, Secretary.
Secretary, thank you for joining us. Marami pong salamat.
Thank you.
Thank you also.